We begin our show with a story of a remarkable group of Marine Corps veterans who teamed up with doctors to provide disaster relief for the victims of the 2010 earthquake in Haiti. That small group has grown to become Team Rubicon, a veteran service organization that stands ready to deploy emergency response teams all around the world.
We rolled into Port-au-Prince in the back of pickup trucks. As we got closer and closer to the city and then to the city center, the masses of people that were trying to move away from Port-au-Prince to go find something that was less chaotic just increased, and we were going in the opposite direction. We were going into the heart of it. It just incrementally got worse and worse. You know, you started to see on the outskirts of the city some of the destruction. Then you got closer and you saw entire buildings collapsed, and then you started to smell. You know, you could smell the bodies bloating in the sun and the heat. You could smell diesel fuel spilled across the street, burning tires, everything like that. And you know, to be quite honest, it was the same sights and smells that we had heard going through Fallujah or going through Baghdad or Afghanistan. My name is Jake Wood. I'm president and co-founder of Team Rubicon. One morning I woke up and I saw on the news what was going on in Port-au-Prince, and for a couple hours I just sat there and watched the television screen because the images that were coming back were so horrific and mind-blowing. And you know, after a little while of doing that, I decided that it was an opportunity to go down there and help. I put out a Facebook post and asked who wanted to join me to go down to Port-au-Prince, and literally a few minutes later, William McNulty gave me a call and said that he wanted to go. And you know, Team Rubicon was really born right then and there.
We put together a team of military veterans and medical professionals. We basically paired Marines with doctors, and we sent them into the hardest hit areas of Port-au-Prince and did medical triage. You
know, for a veteran like William or I, you know, we have a lot more to offer than $10. And we had skill sets that a lot of the volunteers at the Red Cross, a lot of the volunteers at the International Medical Corps didn't have. And we thought that our greatest asset, our greatest resource that we could provide was, you know, ourselves.
We're this flexible and dynamic, rapidly expanding, veteran-focused organization that pretty much have taken the helm on responding to disasters and using our former service members as our core of volunteers that we can call upon, and that's kind of where we're at now, 2.5 years into the organization.
Team Rubicon is different than other aid organizations because it's focused on the veteran. It's focused on giving that self-worth and that purpose and that community back to the veteran. So we're incorporating a lot of the same things that we learned, tactics, procedures that we learned in the military, but we're applying it to disaster response now.
We've been to Haiti, Burma, Pakistan, Chile. We recently have started responding to domestic disasters. Most notably were the tornadoes in the Midwest and a hurricane on the East Coast. Our deployments have been into pretty bad disasters. The sights, the smells, the devastation, the looks in people's eyes knowing that they've potentially lost everything or they have lost everything. The ability to approach a situation with a bit of tenderness even though you're there for a very specific mission. There's a lot of similarities that make us the best people to send into an area like that.
I can't thank you all enough.
No, you're very welcome.
There is no words to say.
You know, you hear so much bad on television, but through this, we've seen so much good.
I met Clay Hunt for the first time in 2006. We were in the same platoon in Iraq. Clay's a Purple Heart winner. I was shot in Iraq. So we went to sniper school together. We were partners all through sniper school, and we deployed together to Afghanistan as snipers. Wow. We've been through a lot.
Clay Hunt was a friend who I had not met until the Haiti earthquake. Clay didn't go down with the first team into Port-au-Prince, but he saw us on the news, actually. He woke up in the middle of the night, purchased a plane ticket to the Dominican Republic, and found us at the largest hospital, the General Hospital in Port-au-Prince.
I've been in 2 third world countries where every second that I've walked through, I've been having to worry about my own safety before I could worry about doing good and helping others. It was a complete opposite down in Haiti. I didn't have to worry once about my safety. I was there to do a job, to help people, and I have a renewed faith in humanity.
Clay found disaster relief very therapeutic. This is what he told me. You know, Clay said that he wanted to do this type of work for the rest of his life.
I'm here to help. I'll be here till he goes home. But he was my best man at my wedding. Been my best friend for the last few years. Got to be here. I don't think there's a better place I could be right now. So.
You know, one of the things that Clay struggled with mightily was some of the mental and emotional problems that a lot of veterans are coming home from war with. And, you know, he had a lot of difficulty dealing with his experiences and dealing with the guilt that he had and that he associated with having survived the war when so many of our friends lost their lives over there. We tried to get him help on a number of occasions. He was going into the VA for counseling, and eventually we had him move back to Houston, Texas to be with his family. Shortly after moving back to Houston, things just kind of hit rock bottom for him, even though they appeared to be all right. And he ended up taking his own life on March 30th of 2011. So after the dust settled from Clay's suicide, we really took some time to reevaluate what it was we were doing at Team Rubicon. You know, when we started out, we saw ourselves as an organization that was looking to transform disaster response by using veterans. And, you know, we saw an opportunity to provide, you know, the volunteers that were working with us some of the things that we knew Clay was missing. And you know, Clay, he didn't kill himself because of what happened to us over in Iraq and Afghanistan. He killed himself because of what he lost when he came home. And, you know, he was missing a mission in his life. He was missing community. And, you know, he really didn't feel like he had any self-worth anymore.
When Clay took his own life, it caused us to take a really hard look at the organization, and it caused us to change the focus to the veteran rather than the disaster victim. And that might sound trivial, but it's actually very important. We're recreating that self-worth, that mission, that purpose, that community to try and help those people who are suffering from the same symptoms that Clay was adjust, reintegrate into society.
My name's Kevin HESLIN, and I'm a research health scientist with the VA Emergency Management Evaluation Center. My colleagues and I are interested in eventually doing a large-scale, sort of long-term study with Team Rubicon so that we can really try to track the mental health benefits of volunteer work on veterans.
The VA approached us about a study they wanted to do regarding the efficacy of a program such as ours for actual therapeutic, measurable results. Could our program, could our volunteer organization that is repurposing veteran skills in disaster relief actually measurably have an answer?
The VA has a huge focus on reintegration into civilian society, and how can we help veterans to do that better. So the idea that this kind of emergency management volunteer work would contribute to that is very exciting.
We have veterans unsolicited email us all the time with you know, thanks and praise for the opportunity to work with us and what it has meant to them. But at the end of the day, you know, that's not real quantitative evidence. That's not scientific. That's not anything that we can say, here, you see, we're right. You know, this is helping veterans. And so with the VA, we're really hoping that we can conduct a formal study that proves that the idea of continued service is something that is beneficial to the veteran and to their transition and to their reintegration into civil society.
Over the last 10 years, it's been very hard for veterans to identify progress. But when you're either saving the life of a child in Port-au-Prince after the earthquake, or whether you're tarping someone's roof in Joplin after a tornado, progress is immediately identifiable, and that's of extreme value to the veteran.
The difference between going on a mission with Team Rubicon versus the experiences that volunteer might have had in uniform, you know, you're going into a similar environment, but the entire feeling is different. You're not going in there fearing for your life. You're not going in there with a mission that you may be uncomfortable with. You're going there to help people. And I think for the veterans who get involved, that's incredibly therapeutic to know that you're needed and you're wanted, and your only mission in life is to go improve the lives of people whose lives have been devastated. It's really cathartic for the veteran.
There is the hope when you fill out our application that one day you will receive a phone call from me saying, we need you to fly to Africa for this mission. Are you available? And I think that is a very powerful feeling of hope for a lot of people. You know, a lot of people who lost their mission, I think that sense of purpose, that sense of reusing their experience is important and it's powerful, and that's what we do.
If you would like to get more information or sign up, just visit teamrubiconusa.org.